In this chapter, the first thing we're going to do is get Mogh's Great Spear, one of the best weapons in all of Elden Ring. Welcome everyone to Chapter 4 of my Get Overpowered Early series. To make this series more fun and more unique, our next task will be to easily destroy Mogh, getting us one of the best weapons in all of Elden Ring far earlier than normally possible. By doing the preparations in this series, you level up quickly and get some of the best weapons in Elden Ring, including the totally broken and never nerfed Mogh's Great Spear. No one weapon will be best for all cases, but this monster will get you through virtually any crypt, dungeon, or castle, as its AoE, Ash of War, goes through walls, ceilings, and floors. That's right, it reaches around corners, you can stand on a building, get everybody under you. It's just amazing. Elden Ring becomes super easy when you have this weapon. So let's go get Mogh and Mogh's Great Spear. As always, please subscribe and download the free maps and guidebooks. Return to White Mask Varre at the Rose Church. Exhaust his dialogue and collect some fingers that allow you to travel to other player worlds. Use a finger, select both near and far options, and find yourself a red-colored invader in another's world. Fight them if you want. This is PvP and quite fun, but for this optimized guide to get overpowered early in Elden Ring, just use the finger that severs the connection and return. Rinse and repeat this for a total of 3 invasions. You need not have fought or won. Start at the Grand Lift of Deck Disgrace and ride south and go uphill and a bit left. After you've gained some altitude by doubling back, you should be able to then turn south again and head to the tower. Many of these areas can appear somewhat confusing, so please check out the guidebooks that I provide and the annotated maps. Just subscribe to my channel and download those for free. Head to the right slightly in order to get up a stone ramp, then double back towards the base of the tower. Enter the tower and kill the mad rats. Then climb the tower and open a chest for the essential Howl of Shabriri incantation. Climb to the top and destroy the 6 creatures there who are creating the madness. Now head out of the tower south to the Frenzied Flame village. Ride through the town, pick up some loot if you can, maybe make a circle through the town. Then head northwest. Arrive at the Church of Inhibition. When you arrive at the church, tag the grace as quickly as you can, then deal with the invasion of festering fingerprint Vicky. Use the Bloodhound Fang's Ash of War to easily dispatch Vicky and collect your reward, Vicky's War Spear. Then visit the maiden there and get the fingerprint grape and the finger maiden armor set. You also get Lord of Blood's favor, which is the task that Varre set you on. Return to Varre at Rose Church, exhaust his dialogue, and collect the Pureblood Knight's medal. Use the medal to be instantly transported to the Mogh Dynasty Mausoleum. Go up 1 flight of stairs and tag the Dynasty Mausoleum entrance site of grace. Since we are here, I take a quick detour in the video to ride to the popular RUNE farm at the Palace Approach Road site of grace. It's easy to get laser beam to instant barbecue status, so ride quick and zigzag, be evasive and unpredictable, and get to the grace picking up all the loot you can. Note that this area has many top-end smithing stones and the Swarm of Flies incantation. Arrive at and tag the Palace Approach Road site of grace. With the gold scarab equipped if you have it, and having taken a gold pickled fowlfoot if you have that, shoot an arrow at the big bird below for a quick 15,000 or more runes. Rinse and repeat as often as you can stand it. Usually you just have to hit the bird once with an arrow and he'll run off the cliff and die. Sometimes though he runs up to the edge and stops. So before you rush back to the grace, you might want to check and make sure he jumped. We're back to D1, Dynasty Mausoleum entrance. Go up all the stairs, avoiding the creatures that want to kill you, grabbing the loot along the way. When you reach a large doorway into the Mogh Dynasty Mausoleum, turn on your lantern and enter. As soon as you can, summon your wolves. There is only one enemy here, and he is super easy to kill if the dogs are distracting him while you go in for a few swings from the Bloodhound's Fang. After you dispatch this bloody vampire creature, speak to the imprisoned merchant here. Then continue on through the mausoleum, picking up some good loot and likely encountering the bloody vampire guy 2 or 3 times in total. Exit the mausoleum and tag the Dynasty Mausoleum Midpoint site of grace, which is D3. Go up the stairs, hugging the right side to avoid the creatures at the top. Hop onto the elevator and ride it up to Mogh's arena fight. Watch Mogh's cool cutscene. Watch as Mogh then starts to come towards you to finish you off, and then quit the game. Restart and you'll be just outside the golden boss door. Since Mogh is now loaded into his arena, we can now ride the lift down and return to the previous grace area. Then watch the video to see where you can go to take out Mogh the easy way. Note that if you fast travel or get killed, you're going to have to reload Mogh in his arena and start over. Note that the only challenge here is to make 2 simple jumps, but more often than not, I screw up one of the jumps and have to start over. Here it is again in a little faster speed. Once you get to the correct area, a hole in the rocks, you must jump into the hole while constantly swinging your sword. Jumping into the hole may take a few tries, but you know you have it correct when you're falling down what looks like an endless blue sky, while you can continue to swing your weapon. This weapon swinging is essential. Then patiently wait about 90 seconds, and Mogh, and more specifically Mogh's Great Spear, becomes yours. Note that you get about 600,000 runes as well. If you want the traditional method for beating Mogh with the Bloodhound's Fang sword, see my other videos. Now that we are overpowered for the early game area, the next step is to take out Margit, Godrick, and defeat Stormveil Castle. Start at the Stormhill Shack site of Grace. Head west down the path or road and either run past all the guards or just take them out. They are very easy to defeat now that we have a +6 Bloodhound's Fang sword. Just be careful to not get hit by the ballista. Be sure to hit the scarab and get the Ash of War or Wild Strikes. Go into the tunnel and rest at the Castle Ward Tunnel site of Grace. We're about to fight a boss, so we'll need to rest and ensure we have all the healing flasks we would want and our trusty Lone Wolf Spirit summons at the ready. Exit the Grace Rim and continue west into the opening, but don't go in yet. First look on the ground for the golden glyphs. Use this to summon Rajier. Wait till Rajier arrives, then enter the open area and immediately, as soon as the cutscene will allow, summon your lone wolves. You are now going to fight Margit the Fell Omen. If you are following this guide, you have purchased Margit's Shackle from patches earlier. Equip this onto one of your slots. When you use it, but only during the first phase of this fight, you will stun Margit onto the ground. You can get in a few easy and free hits that way. If you're a mage, use Glintstone Pebble. That works well. You can also parry him, but parrying is a skill to be developed, and I'll just focus on the easy way in this series. When Margit does his leaping attack with his hammer, roll through it towards him to get in an easy hit. Don't be greedy and try to hit him more than once during this, as he will keep repeating this move, and this is your best opening during this fight. Just be patient and repeat what works. Using the Bloodhound Fang's Ash of War, the left trigger is of course going to slaughter Margit quickly. Just try to avoid getting hit and either back off while he jumps up into the air or follow the previous advice and roll through it towards him and then pull the left trigger. It might take some tries to get it correct, but if you got this far, you got this. Watch the video to see how easy it is. After he goes down, you get a new talisman pouch, so we can use 2 now, at 9,000 runes. Now continue on towards the main castle gate and rest at the Stormveil main gate site of Grace. From the Grace, head into the opening on the left side of the closed portcullis. Inside you will meet the NPC gatekeeper Gostoc. Exhaust your dialogue with him and be sure not to kill him, as he will provide you with a highly desirable item later on. He'll advise you to avoid entering the castle's main gate because he says it's tightly guarded. But because I want to do this quickly and easily, I choose to ignore him and take the direct approach and go through the main gate. When you enter the main gate, just continually dodge roll forward and into the left. Go up the stairs and double back into the room there and tag the gateside chamber site of Grace. Be sure to have a medium or light load. Don't make the mistake of having a heavy load. For this next section, your job is to go out the door and primarily using arrows, wipe out the crews of those heavy crossbows. There should be plenty of places to hide. You can just check out the video to see how I did it, but it's very easy, it's a little tedious, and every now and then, of course, you have to use your sword. But these guys are pretty weak considering how strong we are now and given our armor. Once you've cleared out all of the heavy crossbow guys, wipe out some of these swordsmen and make your way to the second open portcullis. Alright, once you get there, same thing will happen as in the front gate. So you don't want to go in, you want to target the crew of these weapons and get those guys first with your arrow. And you can check the video and see how I do it. It's sort of delicately walking around trying to avoid getting targeted by them, and yet being able to target either them or their weapon. If you hit a crossbow, I think 30, 40 times, it'll actually destroy it. When you've got this corridor all cleared out, you can kind of head up the left side, jump over to the right side, and go back a little bit and find a platform on which you can get the arbalist. Then head up the stairs through yet another open portcullis and find yourself in a large courtyard. You can run into one of the rooms on the left and get a painting, and you can also just mess with all the dudes in the middle of the courtyard. They drop a lot of loot. Careful though, there's this ogre and a dog. Relatively easy to deal with, but gotta watch out for them. Then go up the stairs, collect some more loot, and you can see a doorway that has a grace. So run in and grab that grace. You are now at the lift side chamber site of Grace. Rest here and take the lift up. Enter the next area full of small jars and one large jar. Dispatch them all and grab all the cracked pots and raw meat dumplings that you can. Continue down some stairs and see a scarab that contains the Ash of War Stormcaller. Continue forward to the Secluded Cell site of Grace. You are now next to the boss door, but first we need to find Nephali. So exit the door, run past or kill the troll. Continue a short way to a doorway. Go in and exhaust the dialogue with Nephali so that we can summon her help with our boss fight with Godrick the Grafted. Pick up the smithing stone in this room. Return to the Secluded Cell Grace. Go to the boss door and summon Nephali before going in. Then summon your wolves and then defeat Godrick the Grafted. So it's a little messy. I summon the wolves and they get slaughtered rather quickly. My goal here is to try and get behind them and hit them with the Bloodhound's Fang, preferably the Ash of War, or just swing at them. It doesn't take too many hits, and Nephali is actually quite tanky, so she should be in this for a while. Okay, that's it for Chapter 4. Thanks for tuning in. You're now way overpowered for the early game, so it should make Elden Ring much more fun and much easier to do. So please subscribe to my channel and download those maps and game guides and give me feedback in the comments. Thank you. I'm already working on another version of this that will take into account all of the NPC quest lines and ensure that you don't miss anything. My goal with that is to put together a guide for Elden Ring players that will allow them to play essentially a perfect game, meet all the NPCs in the proper order, etc. Please let me know if there's any specific thing you'd like me to cover. Thanks. Please do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. It really helps a lot. Thanks.